My childhood was really happy because I go to school, I play front of the building where I live with my friends, and I was dreaming one day to be like a designer for the clothes. That was my dream to be, and get a job after when I finished the school and settle my life and get married.
Life before the war, it was normal like everywhere else around the world, like here in America, we were going to school, my parents, dad was working, my mom was homestaying and she was taking care of us,
After the school, I will go with my friends for the cafe bar, and we will drink the coffee express. So we will talk and laugh and talking about what will we do when we grow up. Some stuff that we were watching in the TV, like Beverly Hills 90210 or the Dallas show that was really popular at that time before the war started in Bosnia.
And all of a sudden when the war started, everything changed. The normal life stopped. We were without of telephone lines, we were out without of electricity, we were out of water, we were out of food, everything that we needed for the normal life, that you need basic stuff for the existence, we were completely out of it.
Well, the war started. We had the country of Yugoslavia, which was a relatively peaceful people, fairly united. Well, after the death of their leader, Joseph Tito, this guy named Slobodan Milosevic came into power. He was a Serbian that with propaganda and nationalism wanted a greater Serbia. Serbia wanted to be the dominant force in the area. Bosnia consisted of Croats, Bosniaks, which were Bosnian Muslims, and you had Serbians. The Bosniaks, or Bosnian Muslims, represented the largest population of Bosnia at the time. And what happened is they held an election because they were afraid that Milosevic would take their land. They actually won their independence from Yugoslavia, and the European Union recognized them as an independent state. After this happened, that really angered the Serbians because they didn't feel like they were going to get what they wanted, so they attacked. About a year after the Serbians attacked, the Croatians joined in and helped the attack on the Bosnian Muslims.
I would say 2 nights before we were kicked out of our home. I was a child, like I said earlier, and then there was a building where we live, like apartments, condominiums. And I was playing with some girls, they're like, they're still there in that building, left. And the military were coming and going, and at that time, I didn't know what's going on. So I tried to turn on the light, and one of the Croat soldiers said, if you turn the light, I'm going to blow your head, the neighbor from the 9th floor. So I said, why would you blow my head off? Because I just want to turn off the lights. And then he said, I would do it. So the second night, they want to take our dad away. The military come to search our home, Croats military. So they want to take him away from us. And for me, that was torture because they were shooting in our house. They were like throwing everything around. They were spitting on us. They were telling us bad words. They was, cussing at us. So that night, we didn't sleep at all. And the next day, they say, you have to leave the place. You have to leave your home. God, where are we going to go? We don't have nowhere to go. It's fighting, it's shooting, it's everywhere you look, it's a smoke around. At that time, I was like holding my small baby that I have and the toy, Play-Doh. And then I was holding to her and saying, God, where will we go? Where will we stay? So they kick us out from our home with no food, no clothes, nowhere to go. We were sheltered in one station. It's like the students used to live there. And then it was also on Croat side. So we stayed night over there. At that night, there was a lot of bombing. They even threw the bomb at us. A lot of people got killed at that night. A lot of people got injured. So somehow the sun arrived. It's the next day. We're supposed to get in the buses to leave from one side to another. God, that day was so long. It was hot. It was a lot of mean people around us. So we have to stay in the bus from morning till night with no water. And there's like a bus where like 50, 100 people all scrolling in one place. So there's no air. There is no air. There is no water. There is no food. So we suffered like whole day like in a hell. It was like a hell to me. So when we finally, UN say we're gonna go cross another side, when we come, there was fire everywhere. Everything was burning. People screaming, people crying. But when we come to this place where our people are, like a Bosnian army, God, I feel relieved. I feel saved. I feel happy. God, we're here. We're all 5 of us are alive and standing next to each other, and no one got hurt, no one got raped, no one got killed. So that time I said, thank you, God, for saving us from those enemies from other side.
For the food, it's what we got from the humanitarian organizations, and the convoys were not allowed, and for a long time convoy did not arrive in the Mostar. So people were living off of what they have in the storage. A lot of times in Bosnia, older people, they will stock food, for, you never know. So they were giving the way, to those people they need, especially to the elders and to the families with the kids. But a lot of times, I remember my mom will make the famous Bosnian dish. It's called pita, zeljanica, but zelja is actually the spinach. But it was not made out of the spinach. We will collect the grass from the around, the house garden, and she will cook the grass, and she will, improvise somehow the dough with little flour that she will have. There was no salt, there is no oil. There was nothing. And I remember, some neighbors, they had a lot of the beans. And beans is something that, we hated, because there was a constant morning, noon, night, whenever we had it, that's what we eat. But there was something that was mostly found on the Bosnian, dining tables, during the war. And I remember my younger sister used to say, after the war, I will never, ever eat beans again, never in any kind. So when the convoy was led inside the Mostar, there were like, the cans of the meat, the flour, the real stuff that can, be given. But I remember there was the planes, they were flying over the Mostar, and they were throwing the packages, pallets of the packages, and they were carrying the little bitty brown, the army packages, and we will go into mountains and search for those. Even though around the mountains there was minefields, there was the sniper shooting constantly, there were shelling, but you're dying of hunger and you have to go. And we will get up early in the morning, and we will go. And inside those little packages, I always remember there was the our favorite dish. It was chicken and rice. There were crackers, Tabasco sauce. We didn't know at the time what was the Tabasco, little bitty Tabasco sauce.
We are not worried about those stuff, did we have water or the electricity, because the only thing that we are worried, are we going to survive? Are we going to be alive next day? First shell fell on not far from my home.
Next thing that I remember after that, it was that the explosion, the pain, warm of blood, the smoke, the a scream of Belma saying, my arms, my arms.
I didn't think about the pain. I was hurting the people, screaming, and I was just thinking, or am I going to stay alive, or am I going to die?
Grandma and aunt, they run upstairs also. They try to help us, to remove those stones, and the blocks, the brick blocks, so we can, be taken to the hospital.
Odjednom su se komšije stvorile i ja sam spustio tebe do moga oca, on je preuzeo tebe i onda su došle komšije, pokupile, stavile te u jednog malog auto i odvezli su te brzo u bolnicu.
My left hand was cut like in the two pieces, and the right one hand it was already cut. They say we don't have the blood, leave her, she will be dying very soon.
Belma lost a lot of blood, and that they are looking for donors because Belma, all three of us sisters were in the zero negative, and that was really rare to find. And the storage of the hospital didn't have any reserve for the zero negative.
And I saw them, they were bringing my middle sister, and I say, oh, she's going to be fine. If you cannot save me, save her at least that she can be, sorry. That she will be alive at least for my family. And so they say, don't worry about her, she will be fine. And then suddenly after that, I didn't remember nothing. They took me to the surgery room. They put me to sleep.
Luckily, with the help of God and, good people, the blood for Belma was pretty much collected. An hour after that, on the door, my dad entered. His face was red, black. The bed like I never saw. There is no words that can describe the harsh that his face expressions were telling me. He was crying, and that was not usual for my father. He never cried. And I said, something bad happened. Dad, what happened? He said, everybody's fine, but Belma lost both of her arms.
Kad je doktor došao u sobu, sam bila sa Selmom, srednjom kćerkom, koja je isto bila ranjena. Došao i rekao mi je, dao mi je Belmin prsten, koji ona imala na ruci, i rekao mi je, Belma hoće da vas vidi. Tada sam ja sišla dole i vidjela sam da je i moj muž dole, da je pored nje. Tada mi je saopštio da je Belma ostala bez oba dvije ruke. Ja sam bila u šoku. Dan u životu mome bio. Izgubila sam oca, majku, sestre, ali taj mi je dan najteži bio u mom životu kad sam vidjela sutra ujutro Belmu bez oba dvije ruke. I taj dan nikada neću moći zaboraviti. To je teško. Kad ti gleda svoje dijete da ne može čak ništa kod sebe.
So they go and they brought my mom and dad to tell me what happened to me. And as soon as they entering, I saw them, they're crying, and I say, why were you crying? They say, we have to tell you something, but I don't know how. And I say, what do you mean about that? They say, sorry, we have to tell you that you are lost both your arms. That moment when they told me that that happened to me, I told them, my life is over. Don't even, I don't want anymore leave. I don't want anymore go out. I just want to stay in the home, in the room, and I don't want anybody to see it.
In March of 4th March 1994, it was actually a day when Mom, Belma, my younger sister Haira, and I left Bosnia for good. Dad was not able to leave the country because he was in army, 1. 2, he had old father, mother, sister-in-law and her 3 kids, that somebody needs to take care of them. And so that day, it was the most difficult day after the tragedy, because we are going somewhere and we don't know where we're going. Who is going to, be there for us? Is there somebody going to be waiting for us? How is it going to happen?
Kad smo došli u Abelin, ljudi, medicinsko osoblje iz bolnice, tako su nas lijepo poštovali. Ljudi na ulici. Pitali su nas, pričali su s nama, ali mi nismo znali engleski.
When we came to the United States, me and my mom and my 2 sisters, we did not speak English, only that we know there was the hello and bye. That's only that we know.
Esma was cleaning the hospital rooms to making the minimum wage so that she could then walk 2 or 3 miles to the nearest supermarket, walk home carrying food, and prepare a meal for her 2 daughters who were living with her in a small apartment near the hospital.
Ja sam danima i danima nije mogla spavati, mislila kako će to sve proći, ali to uz pomoć Allaha dragog sve je prošlo lijepo.
She said like the things it is like she was thinking every day. It was like a hard.
Every day night.
And every
sleeping.
night, no, she was not sleeping and like thinking how will be. It was not easy. Like we are first of all 4 women here, knowing nobody, knowing no culture, knowing nothing about the United States, and then it was hard. She will go to work. She will think, where am I? Where is my younger sister? Where is her middle daughter? Where is her husband? It's not easy, but thanks to the Allah, the God, she was go through it.
Well, beginning when we come in America, this several years for Belma was like frozen, was same. She never wants to move forward.
I have a lot of sadness, anger inside to me.
She did nothing but lie on the sofa all day long. She was in a severe, deep, dark depression. She lay in a hotel corridor until the medics decided she was worth saving, or there was a chance of saving her life. And then in a hospital room, she was airlifted to Abilene. She had to face a new environment, a new language, a new set of challenges. After a couple of years there, she came to Dallas. So each of these new environments brought its own difficulties. And so Belma had to change each time in order, basically, to survive.
Hello, Jesse, evo nas. For me, for the beginning, when everybody was staring on me, it was horrible because I don't want anybody like the see me different way. I remembering one time when I moved to the Dallas, actually from the Abilene, and me and my mom were in the store, and we were in the line waiting to pay it on the register. And he started laughing on me, and he told me, "You don't have arms." And for that moment, it was for me horrible. And I came home, and I was crying, and Selma asked me what happened, and I told her. And I remember she go to the store, and she started talking to him. And he said, I am so sorry. Where is she? I need to ask her for forgiveness.
It's hard for us to imagine Belma's day. And one person that we might tend to forget about is her mother, the essential role that her mother plays, not just as a traditional wife in a Muslim household, cooking, cleaning. Belma's mom has to cover that ground, but also care for a young woman who essentially is a 1-year-old child. She has to wash her hair, style her hair, put on her makeup, dress her, feed her, give her drinks, take her to the bathroom. Imagine the intimacy that's been forced on these 2 women, how closely they have to live throughout the day and throughout the night. If Belma has to go to the bathroom at night, she needs help from her mom. She can't pull down the pants that she wears in order to toilet herself, blowing her nose, taking her medicine. It's a very symbiotic type of relationship that these two women have.
She's like my best friend. I really thank her for everything that she did for me and that she was first moment with me. And those days and days that I will never forget her. She will be every time in my mind, even if she died, and she will be all the time in my prayer.
And one day I said to her, what's the change this year? Why is it that you now say you're willing to forgive people and you want to tell your story? In the past, you weren't ready to do this. And she said, because I've been reading Quran. And it was then that she discovered this phrase, if you forgive others, I will forgive you.
The God told me that I'm good person, that I have a good soul. You will going to one day show up and you will be much happy. So I say that I'm going to forgive my enemy, whatever he did, that he destroyed my life. No problem, I already forgive him.
So through her faith, Belma found the strength to build this new life.
I will start reading Quran more every day. I even read the whole Quran and going more to the mosque for the prayer. I asked Allah, dear Allah, you know the best what was for me. So I ask you to remove this madness, to this angry, to this hateness from me. I need you really help. So I will be more, if you can please help me to live the life happy. I don't want to be anymore angry. And that was like when I get my answer of the prayers.
It's unusual that people have so many different chances to recreate a new life. Only through tragedy can one undergo this spiritual rebirth.
I start noticing the changes, and those changes I like a lot because I like to see my sister smiling, I like to see my sister moving forward, I like to see my sister be very happy.
She burst out of her shell and she became more energetic. She decided to go back to school. She decided to start volunteering and doing a lot of different activities through the community, including our Bosnian community as well. She became more active.
Makes no demands, but is there ready to go to Richland, to go to the Toastmasters meeting, to go to the amputee network, to go shopping, to get a new haircut, to look different with a new necklace, a new blouse, so that when she is out in the public rather than staying at home, she's looking like the young woman that she was when she lived back in Mostar, before the war hit her city.
It's exciting.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Finally, I got what I was praying for.
She's beautiful.
Yes.
Wow.
You understand my point?
And Belma said that she is seeing somebody and talking to somebody and she would like to go meet him in person. They met through online. And I was shocked again. That was another shock, and of course we were all like, who is he, what is he doing, where is he from? And when she said from Bosnia, he lives in Bosnia, we were like, oh my God, no. How is this gonna work?
And I told my sisters and mom, and they say, okay, we're gonna go. I go to the Bosnia, I met him, I spent the times and times with him. On October 12th, he asked me, would you love to be my wife? I was in shock and surprised, and I say, yes, I would love to be your wife.
What's going through your mind, Esma?
She waited for this long time. I know that for sure. I can tell because we are very close friends, and I think she's very happy.
My sister Belma, she is disabled. She has no arms. So I don't know how we're going to do this. I mean, her ring is gonna go on her necklace.
Okay.
Okay. And if there needs to be something translated to him, we have to do it because he speaks.
You don't understand English?
No.
I just asked you that in English, so I know you understand some of it. You're not any good at lying. I can spot that, all right? All right, and you all you understand this is a legal marriage. The license has been issued properly in Dallas County under the authority of the state of Texas. Under the authority of my office as a judge in the state of Texas, it is my privilege and honor to pronounce you husband and wife.
Jer joj nisu drage. Ona ode Amalija, ona ode Zemanija, ona ode za rečima.
How did I feel about my life now? I feel more happy. I am blessed and thankful to God that I'm alive, because now my life is more changed since the forgiveness. I have a lot of friends, have my family, and enjoying the time, spending the time with my friends and family. And now I have the husband, my love of my life.
Jer joj nisu drage. Ona ode Amalija, ona